Hi, I'm Rachel, the CEO of Intrinio. For all of our fintech clients, innovators, and enthusiasts, especially the early stage ones, things are getting a little rough out there right now. That's why I put this video together, to give my take on how to survive as a fintech startup in a recession. We've barely recovered from the thick of the COVID pandemic, only to be faced with inflation, rising rates, tanking tech stocks, a potential recession, and a unique environment for private tech-oriented startups. So, follow these 6 steps to prepare yourself, your team, and your company to survive and thrive through whatever comes next. Step number 1, humble yourself with a reality check. First and foremost, as a leader, you need to come face-to-face with reality so that you can be an effective anchor point for your team, stakeholders, and customers. Here's what you need to face. Public tech company performance is often an indicator of what's happening or about to happen in the private tech company space. Netflix crashed 71% this year already, and many tech stocks have seen similar double-digit drops. Additionally, rates have started rising dramatically. Investors know that your company faces the same challenges as the tech giants: inflation, supply chain nightmares, geopolitical conflicts, a war, commodity price squeeze, and talent issues are striking technology companies of all sizes. They know that this will create input cost and sustainability problems for startups like yours. These challenges have raised the cost of capital drastically, and it's having a compressing effect on valuations as well as fundraising flow. So, any money that you planned to fundraise won't come easy, and if it does, it's going to be painful and expensive to acquire. Right now, investors are just not going to grant you a robust valuation or an endless stream of cash. As Sequoia pointed out in some of their recent guidance to portfolio companies, startups are no longer being rewarded for consuming large amounts of capital, having high burn rates and short runways, just in order to achieve growth at all costs. In this environment, startups will be rewarded for building strong, profitable, sustainable businesses with healthy underlying unit economics, just like every other normal business on the planet. So, the TLDR of this reality check, things are different now. And unless you're in your 50s and on your second startup, you might not have ever experienced an environment like this before. So let that all sink in, because it's the foundation for the rest of this guide to surviving as a fintech startup during a recession. Step number 2, don't panic. After coming to terms with the new tech startup environment, the next most important thing for you as a leader is don't panic. Many of the downstream effects of the changing macroeconomic environment are uncertain. We don't know exactly how much and when the economy will slow. Now, though, would be the time to prepare, but there's no need to panic. You are a leader for a reason, and as long as you remain calm, plan, effectively communicate, and follow this guide, you're going to be just fine. Take a breath. If you don't feel like it's going to be okay, no one at your company will. Step number 3, assess and prepare your leadership team. Now that you've faced reality and achieved calmness, you've got to focus on your leadership team because you are going to need them. First, assess your team. How adaptable are they? Are they really comfortable with change? Because you're about to be operating in a completely new way and everything is going to change. Really ask yourself, can they handle it? Your job is to communicate the reality check to them and make sure that they stay calm with you so they can help you plan. Pull out your best motivation and inspirational skills and get your leaders ready to go. Start by reminding them of your mission and focus on what is going right. Ask them, how can they use what your company does well to get to a stable financial position? Step number 4, memorize your mantra. Now it's time to set the theme for everyone and memorize your mantra. The mantra is conserve cash, extend runway, build a real business. Say it with me. Conserve cash, extend your runway, build a real business. All right, let's break this mantra down into 2 parts so that we can dive in. First, conserve cash and extend runway. When capital was flowing like crazy, companies that spent tons of capital did well. Now the spigot has been turned off. So those companies are tanking and capital efficient companies will survive. Unfortunately, this is just simply a bad time for fundraising and M&A. You're going to have to be patient and put yourself in a position to not be capital dependent. So figure out what this means for you. Do you need to cut staff, marketing budget or travel expenses, or do you need to hold off on heavy R&D for new products and major new hires? Is now really the time to take risks on new experiments, or should you be sticking with what you know works? Where can you be more conservative than you have been historically? If this conversation has you on the brink of a heart attack due to your current cash flow situation, you still have options for extending your runway. Those that are in a precarious cash condition should consider debt. It's not going to be a great deal, and it'll probably be painfully expensive, but it is sure better than going out of business. So don't be afraid to do this if you need it. And don't worry, this doesn't mean that you can't dream or shoot for the moon. That's the heart of entrepreneurship, and it's why you're here in the first place. Don't lose the risk-taking drive, just channel it into creating magic from pressure. Get creative. The second piece, build a real business. Super high-growth startups boasting massive user counts, consuming massive amounts of capital are no longer heralded or desirable. The tech boom unicorn dream days of massive valuations are coming to an end. So what is becoming popular? Profitability, real businesses, sustainable growth, actually generating cash. So you're going to have to start doing more with less. You're going to have to start earning from your clients on a holistic basis rather than just burning in order to grow your user counts. So figure out your individual company's path of least resistance to a sustainable, healthy growth numbers. Also, make sure you set expectations about those growth numbers with your stakeholders. It's important that they understand the mantra and the reason behind it. You're sacrificing steep growth for business health. Think about where you can trim the fat and clean up the bottom line. And how can you bolster the top line, enhancing products, focusing on upsell or cross-sell or new products? If you're a fintech in the capital market space, there are probably options for you to save money on your data integrations. Our team at Intrinio would be happy to set you up on a free trial and save you thousands on things like real-time stock prices, options pricing, fundamentals, ESG, estimates, ETF data, and more. Cutting costs doesn't necessarily mean eliminating new projects. It might mean finding cheaper solutions like Intrinio that allow you to keep growing your company. Step number 5, get disciplined and plan. Now that your leadership team and stakeholders have faced reality and are on board with the mantra, it's time to get disciplined and plan. Work with your leadership team, especially the finance experts, to prepare plans A, B, C, and D. What will you cut, when, and in what order, depending on how tough the environment gets. Nobody likes to think about this, but it is your responsibility to plan for it, then put it aside and give all your energy to enabling the best possible scenario. The last step, number 6, communicate. This is the most important step. You need to communicate this strategy to your entire team and all of your stakeholders. Be confident, positive, and strong. Okay, now we know the steps for surviving as a fintech startup during a recessionary environment. Humble yourself with a reality check. Don't panic. Assess and prepare your leadership team. Memorize your mantra. Get disciplined and plan. And communicate. This is going to be different and new, but I challenge you to also look at it as a positive. Opportunity abounds for the tough when things get tough. Just think about it. Your competitors are also going to be floundering and might actually have a worse cash position than you. Also, recruiting is about to get much easier. The pressure is probably going to make your team really creative. So follow the steps in this video and your fintech startup or early stage project will emerge even stronger on the other end of this. Note, there is one caveat. If you are building infrastructure-heavy products like a spaceship or computer chips or redesigning the electric grid, not all of this applies to you. You're going to need capital no matter what, but taking it when it's expensive in order to move quickly and stay ahead of the competition is a must for you. All right, thanks for listening. If this was helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And remember, community is also of critical importance during times like these. So feel free to drop a comment, chat with us on the website, or reach out to become part of the Intrinio community. Buckle down, stay agile, and good luck.